Okay, what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you guys an example of how you can draw a section. Specifically, we're going to work on an offset section. If you take a look at the views that I have right now, minus these two lines that are here, these are some projection lines that I've drawn to get my section view started. My section is going to be taking through these steps right here that I'm outlining with my mouse. Okay, and it's going to be looking in that direction. That's why this section view has to be down in this area. So this is the top view. This is the side view of the object, and what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to get the dimensions that I need for my particular section view. So I'm going to begin by going ahead and projecting some lines over. That way I can get my appropriate geometry there. And I'm just projecting the surfaces over from the side view. And I'll also project over the center line for my for my circle. And I'm going to project the lines downward from the top view. And you'll see that this one I'm going to extend to there. Draw another line from here to there. Got a couple more lines to draw, and then I can go ahead and start trimming, because if you take a look at what I have, it just looks like a big mess. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my trimming tool to just clean this up a bit. And this is going to allow me just to select the pieces that I don't need and get rid of them, and just make a very nice outline for the entire part. So continuing on, just to see what I'm trimming here, this tall surface is going to occur on either side. So I can really get rid of what's happening in the middle there. Okay. This is for my center line. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean this up here. I don't need to have that going across. This edge here, you take a look, the taller hole is in the back. So that means that that's going to be here. So that means I can clean that up, get rid of those lines, and then also just clean up this trim right here as well. Okay, now I don't need to see this line, I don't need to see that line, because that's what the section is going to look like. Okay, I'm going to have to erase this line here. Okay, and then this is generally what my outline is going to look like. Now I need to offset this line around so I can put my circles in. So I'm going to go ahead and get my offset and my distance. I know what my diameter is. I'm going to go ahead and just type that in and take care of offsetting that. I'm going to leave this center line here because of what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a little bit longer. And actually, I'm going to erase one of them and extend the center line all the way across. I'm just going to put some lines in here. So I can extend that all the way across. Okay. Now, if you take a look, what I have so far is I have this hole projected. Now, I also need to project these holes down as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my projection tool. I'm going to draw a line right where it intersects. Okay. And draw another line where it intersects down. Okay. And I'm going to project these down as well for the other hole. It's pretty easy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim those. Just going to clean them up outside, and that way I can go ahead and erase the remaining lines since I don't need these anymore. Okay, and I do need to draw my center lines, so I'll go ahead and do that as well. Project that down. And I'm going to draw some lines to make sure that I can trim those center lines. And I'll erase the pieces that I don't need. Okay, now what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to take, this is what my section is going to look like. If you see, I have got my lines projected over from the top, and it goes over to this level because both of those are at the same level. The reason I know that is they're in line, and this circle is right on top of one another. Okay, these are going to be solid because I will not see material inside of there. This is going to be an edge that I see. You can see that I've projected this line over, and that's going to cover the back hole because you can see the back hole is taller. The front hole is lower, so I can project those down. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I change my line types for my center lines here. So to do that very easily, I'm just going to transfer them over to my center line layer, and that's what they look like. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hatching in here. So you can see that I've got these solid lines. The nice thing about AutoCAD, and what I can do if you're doing this, you can just draw it by hand, is we can go ahead and draw our hatching. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the hatch command open. Now, right now, my hatch pattern is set to this, and that's fine for me right now. And all I have to do here is just indicate, and it kind of gives me a preview of what it's supposed to look like. So all of these surfaces here will be cut through, and you'll see that I get a very nice looking section there. Okay, and that completes my section view.